Hi, my name's Candi Williamson. I've been a massage therapist for over 12 years, and I like to teach my clients how to massage themselves. There's a variety of tools out there that really help to take care of you when you can't get in to get an appointment, when you're really hurting, and just generally to not need to see me as frequently. There's a lot you can do on your own, and with the help of something like this, you may know there's Theracane, S-Cane, Back Body Buddy. There's different brands out there. Some don't have the full S. I prefer the double hook, and I'll show you why. So naturally, when you look at this, there are pointier ends to help with trigger point, and there are rounder ends so it's less aggressive. You get to decide what feels best for your body. You're in charge, so don't do anything that you don't like. So just starting, these two little knobs are a great tool to get right at the base of the skull. Do a nice stretch, dig in here, working the cervical spine. It feels really good. Oh, I like that. And a way that you can also work like neck and shoulders without having to use the arms so much, and this is why I like the S hook, is draping a leg over. So you put this into your back. So there's trigger points here, there's neck and shoulder, and instead of using the muscles that you're trying to relax while you're working, you can use simply the weight of your leg. So now the muscle where the cane is at is relaxed. It makes it easier for me to massage it. This is awesome for trigger point. You can move, but move slowly. Give the muscle time to melt into the cane. Feel it, just breathe, relax. This is not a race. And you can just reposition it wherever feels best, whichever end you prefer. You can bring it over, do a little hooking action into the neck. It's really good. If you find points in the neck, right at the top of the shoulders, there's a couple of trigger points here. If you get tension headaches, this is an excellent way to release them. Again, relaxing the arm that you're using. And you can also do slow turns. Get some mobility in there, help to break that up. You can bring it lower into the back, get into the rhomboids, behind the shoulder blades. You can let this slide down the back of your shoulder blade. It feels really amazing. You can also hook opposite leg, opposite arm. So bringing this up, I can now get into my infraspinatus. So if you have shoulder problems in the shoulder itself, sometimes it's not exactly where you're feeling the pain, and sometimes it is. But if it's not, it's always good to just explore the whole area, because there's a lot of muscles that work together and against each other. And sometimes the ones that hurt are not the ones that aren't working, they're the ones that are working too much. So coming back into the infraspinatus, it's the muscle on top of your shoulder blade. It can be really tender, but it's also a very neglected muscle, and it works with your deltoid. It's part of your shoulder girdle. You want to get this to release. So spend a little time exploring in there. And while we're here, you can bring your arm over, and hopefully you're flexible and comfortable enough to do this. You can also do this in a chair, but you can bring forward, so good. Especially any athletes out there, anybody with chronic shoulder pain, this is an area, it's your serratus anterior, it's crossing over your lats. It's a muscle that glues the shoulder blade down often. And then your anterior deltoid and your pecs play tug of war, and they have to work really hard. Your levator scapula coming up your neck pulls your shoulder blade up. This one pulls it down and forward. So if you're constantly feeling pain here, and maybe you've even had numerous massages and shortly thereafter the pain comes back, it's most likely that they're treating a symptom. So start looking for the cause. This is not a fun place to be worked. It's not something you're going to necessarily go, oh, that feels great. But when you find that kind of dysfunction and pain in the body, it's really necessary to get it out so that the day-to-day pain goes away. Another great way to get in here, especially for my athletes and shoulder issue folks, All right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. You're going to bring the hook in, make it a little bit, oh, there we go. So this is the positioning. You put one of the posts on the ground, you hook the other leg around it, and you can come in into the pec. So there's resistance down here so you can lean. So again, trying to get the muscle that you're working on to be as relaxed as possible. It allows you in more. And you can also do active release, where you're holding that and moving the arm. Pinning and stretching. It's more intense, it's not for everybody, but it's a great option if you like it. You can also get into the subscap. This also causes, you can have numbness down the arm, into the hands, you can have dysfunction all around in the shoulder, you can have restriction in range of motion. It's a good place to explore. Again, not a very fun place to work, but also respect your body's boundaries. There's a difference between, oh, that hurts and it feels really good and it's productive, versus, oh, that's really terrible and I just want to break it down. You can do a little bit of damage there. So be nice to yourself and just go as far as your body is comfortably allowing you to. Your body will most likely tell you whether it's okay or not. So great ways to get in here, so good for the shoulders. One of my favorite things to do. Even though it's not pleasant, it makes the biggest difference. There's all these really great points in here that you can use if you want to do trigger point and just press. So you can lean into this, pushing down, breathing. Same way, pulling. It's a great way to get into the hamstrings, separate those big muscles, grind on into that. Grinding with this is always good. Oh. You can use any of these points at this hook. Acupressure, oh, it's intense. Remember, you don't have to go any deeper than you want to. Release the feet. These are also really good points to get into your back. So you can lay down on this and start working the back. Oh. You can get creative. Use the end of the hook. So I'm using this pointy part here to get into the muscles along my spine. So we're kind of aiming in here. I'm going to come down on it. Really get in and release that low back. You can rock the cane and pull it out. So it can help pull those muscles a little bit away from the spine. Doing some cross fiber in here. It just feels amazing. You can also do this with the upper body. Same concept. If you want to lay on the ground, laying on your shoulder, lifting it up. This is a great way to get that shoulder blade moving. You can hook on the edge of the shoulder blade when you do the lifting. So good. And with this, you can position it, if you like to use it, you can grind anywhere on your body, basically. So you can pin into the deep muscles of the forearms, flexing, moving the hand, moving the fingers. You can feel it pulling in there, really getting in. It's important to get up to these attachments, especially if you have tennis elbow, tendonitis, you want to get in here for carpal tunnel, you want to get all this released. If you've ever squeezed your forearms before and they're rock solid and really, painful, generally numb, anything like that, it's really important to work. So those are just a few great ways to use the S-cane. And remember, you can also use this in a chair. You don't have to be on the floor to use it. So hooking, getting in, using on the neck, and really just play with it. It's a fun tool. If you're in the local Chico area, I'm massaged by Candi, chico.com. You can purchase these from my website or from my office directly, as well as they're also available on Amazon. So I hope you have fun massaging yourself.